All right, welcome back, everybody. And in this one, this series is going to be on Unfollow. We're continuing where we left off, which is the last video series was the follow configuration. Now, we need to go back. I'm going to go back a little bit here just to kind of recover some areas that I may not have covered before. But in each of these, okay, so you have your pin in your repin. But I don't think we covered edit the queue. So basically in each one of these categories you have a queue that actually scrapes where your images come from. So whether your images come from the internet or if they come from other channels, it's just based on how you set it up. So what you could do is in here is you can actually scrape some images to see what PinBot actually comes up with based on that particular category. And with that, what you're able to do is it scrapes the images up, and once you have the images up, you can actually edit the text that goes along with that image, and you can actually add your URL to the third box here. Now, this is a unique feature, especially if you are really trying to dress up your page. In other words, you want your page to look fantastic. You want every single thing that somebody clicks on to pay you. Basically, you want that link to go somewhere that's actually going to allow you to get paid from whatever affiliate link you put in there or whatever, regardless of what the text says or what the image is. You just want that person to click on that link and get them to a place where they can make a purchase, make a buying decision. So it's important for you to know what's actually happening, and that's why the queue editor is really super important, because you can get in here and you can actually edit all this information. So this is important for those of you that are trying to really make your pages immaculate, and you just don't want any old thing or any old picture on there. You want high quality pictures or high quality images, and then you also want information that's not completely explaining, but something that's like a teaser that's going to get them to click on that particular image, so it actually takes them to the place you want them to go. So it's important for you to know that this is available and that you can use this, and this is really super awesome feature that comes with Pinbot 3.0. The other thing too is that you can actually select the type of board that you want, or the board that you want to scrape. In other words, if you want to just work on your Snapchat board or your Facebook board or your YouTube, these are the ways that you can do that. You just click on whichever one it is and then actually scrape. And then once you select that, you click scrape, you edit all your information, and then once you're done with that, you just click save, and then you go out. And you can do that the same with pins, repins, and it's just a really awesome feature that you need to be aware about. Okay, the next thing that we're going to talk about, which actually you can do in any one of these, is your campaign. Okay, so basically what you have is your standard default campaign, okay? But let's say that we want to add a campaign. In other words, I don't want to use this campaign all the time for this channel. What I'd like to do is I'd like to actually edit some of this. So on this particular one, I'm going to not do a pin. I'm not going to do a repin. I'm only going to do likes. I'm not even going to do follows, okay? But what I want to do is I want to save this, and then you can create this as a like only campaign. So basically what you're doing now is you're setting this up to just be your like only campaign. So now all it's going to do is it's just going to click save, and it'll save that information. And then this is just only going to be your like only campaign for that selected account. Okay, and then you can just come back in here and change that back to default, and it brings everything back up the way it was before. Okay, so this is a really neat feature, especially for those who just want to follow, but you want to have your other campaigns set up, but you just want to follow, or you just want to invite, or you just want to like, or you want to like and follow, or you want to like and unfollow for whatever reason, or you just want to like and comment. You can select campaigns. You can set up campaigns for each and every one of those. Okay, so it's really important for that to happen. The other thing I wanted to talk about is not just only setting up your campaigns, but In the follow and unfollow feature, you notice that you have board criteria. Okay, now I touched on this before, but I just want to kind of explain it just a little bit more. Now think about this. You're a new Pinterest user, okay? You're a new person. You just set up maybe 2 or 3 boards, and you're just on there now, and you're just kind of figuring things out, and all of a sudden, boom, somebody follows you. So what do? You're, why, who's following me? I just set up 3 boards. I don't even really have any pins up. Somebody's following me. Well, the deal is that when you're new and you get somebody to follow you, you immediately are going to go and look at that person's page and find out who that person is, right? Right. So when you use this follow, it's important to realize that the higher you set these numbers, you're going to be selecting active people in Pinterest. However, those active people on Pinterest may not always be, drawn to your products or services or whatever it is you're trying to promote. However, new users that come onto Pinterest are more willing to follow you, to share your information, and to get involved in what it is you're doing. And the reason why is because they're new. And quite honestly, the new people, they need help. And more than likely, you're going to get people that are going to, once they see what you're doing and see how clean your boards are and see how optimized everything is on your page, they're probably going to shoot you emails saying, hey, can you help me with my board? Can you help me with my Pinterest marketing? Can you help me? And that is where the money comes. Most people think that all the money comes from you sharing pins and repinning and getting people to post on boards and things like that. Well, yeah, that money does come, especially when you increase the number of followers you have. However, in the meantime and in between time, you can make money by sharing your information or sharing your knowledge with other people, helping other people getting their boards up, helping other people optimize their images, helping other people do the things that you've already done and you know how to do, and being able to help them set their stuff up. And you can charge them. I mean, there are people that are charged $200 a month or per client to set their Pinterest pages up and get them, get their images all optimized and, get their keywords set up, get their SEO all set up. They make a ton of money, and you can too. Okay. So it's important to realize that you don't always want to go after the cherry pickers. You don't want to go after all the people that are going to follow you because they're active on Pinterest. Sometimes you want to follow the people that have just started because they are the ones that are going to need the help. So you might want to, decrease these numbers, like, the criteria. What kind of a user do you want? Do you want one that, has between 500 and 10,000 followers, or do you want one that has between 5 and 1,000 followers? Those are the ones that I target, and those are the ones that give me the most bang for the work I'm doing. And the reason why is because they follow right away and they're on my board. They're always constantly trying to find out what I'm doing. So that's really important. That's just something that you need to know. So by setting these criteria up, this is how you're going to be able to establish that and get that going. And the same with boards. You don't want to set this too high, although some people recommend setting it high because they just don't want anybody in there. But that's really up to you. When you are doing, I use this as a tool to help populate and grab things that I can't do during the day. But what I do is I am constantly working on my pins and on my boards and on my images. And the reason why is because I don't want just anything in there. I don't want spammers in there. I don't want people in there that are just posting to post crap that, they don't know what the hell they're doing, but they want to post stuff on my board. Or people want me to post to another board that's a real sloppy board that really has just everything. They'll have fashion, and motorcycles in the same board. And that is not, for me. I will not do that. I will not even, spend my time wasted pinning to something like that. I want to pin to boards that are organized. I want to pin to boards that, if it's fashion, it's fashion. If it's swimsuit, it's swimsuits. If it's, automotive, it's automotive. You don't want to mix things up so people are confused when they come to that board and look. They just don't know what you got going on, so they leave. They don't spend any time there. Okay? So, with that out of the way, let's jump into unfollow. Now, let's just review real quick, because follow and unfollow are virtually the same. There are some differences. So you remember that when you follow, you need to enable. you need to remember your timeouts. Okay, your timeout is automatically set as default, but you can change this so they stagger. They're not all the same as the rest of yours. And just remember that when you set it between 20 and 40 seconds, it's gonna time out between 21 and 39 seconds. Okay, so anywhere in between. The same with follow. When you set your between numbers, how many users, then you are going to set this. This is the default, but when you set this, you want to make sure that the user count, or know that the user count is going to come in between 21 and 39. Okay, and any number in between. So you can also select who you want to follow, whether it's a user or the boards, and then you can set this on autopilot. And remember, this is in a 24-hour military format, so make sure that whatever you're doing up here will stop before a 24-hour period. That way it can resume the following day. And then set up your criteria. Now, if you don't want to use a criteria, you don't have to. You can just undo this, and then just collect users and boards. And what it'll do is it'll just randomly grab anybody. It doesn't matter who it is, and it will follow based on that information. So using criteria, using board criteria, I think is very important, because it allows you to, it allows you to hone down on exactly what it is you're trying to do. There's just so much you can do with this. It's just not even funny.